How to make $1,000 a day. Hi, I'm Malcolm Finance. You probably see me on your timeline, on your Facebook, on your YouTube, on your Instagram. I have many talents. But one of the things that I really enjoy and one of the greatest gifts that I've ever given myself is learning financial literacy, learning how this world works, learning how to make money strictly from my phone. I don't use a laptop, I don't use a computer. All I use is my phone. And I got into it about 2020 when the world was crumbling and I was kind of laid off from my job, my career actually. As you guys know, I'm a health scientist and I have over 20 plus years of experience. A lot of people consider me a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. I am a health scientist and I have been learning how to make money online ever since 2019. I've been a health scientist for a long time, but really this video is just to focus on my journey and how you can draw experience and data from my journey so that you could apply to whatever you have going on, your life journey, your financial journey. All right. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end and also make sure you share with a friend. All right. So first and foremost, you have to understand where money comes from. If you want to make $1,000 a day, you have to understand where money comes from. And I'm gonna burst your bubble right now. I'm not gonna give you any mysticism or any type of like motivation or anything like that. I'm not gonna tell you need to be disciplined. You just have to understand where money comes from. Money comes from other people. That's where money comes from. It comes from other people. It comes from other human beings. That's where money comes from. There's a famous saying that goes, if you were to take all of the money from the rich people and give it to the poor people, they will give it right back to the rich people. And you know how they do that? Through buying liabilities. People in poverty buy a lot of liabilities. What are liabilities? Liabilities are things that don't put money into your pocket. They just take money outside of your pocket. So credit, that's a liability. Buying a home, that's a liability. Buying a rental property, that's an asset. Now, what is an asset? Asset is buying things that put money inside of your pocket. So when you buy Facebook ads, that's an asset. When you spend money on a Shopify store, that's an asset. When you spend money on a TikTok account to do TikTok shop, that's an asset because that's going to put more money inside of your pocket. Now, rich people, they spend money on assets. Poor people, they spend money on liabilities. So money is always leaving a poor person's account and it's always going into a rich person's account. Now, I spend money on liabilities too. It's not a strict rule. The shirt was a liability. My haircut was a liability. The body butter that I put on my skin was a liability. My jeans is a liability. My car is a liability. I don't make money off those things. Food is a liability. But just by definition, if you spend money on something and it doesn't bring more money into your pocket, then it is a liability. So you just have to make sure you increase the amount of things that you spend on, the amount of assets that you spend on, and make sure that your money is going towards good use. That's why I tell everybody you pay to be broke. You don't just end up broke like that. You pay to be broke, or your parents pay to be broke, or your parents pay to be broke. Somebody had to pay to be broke. Nobody's born unfortunate because everybody's born with the same breath in their ear, with the same lungs, and there's evidence of people who were born poor and then they became rich. So it doesn't matter how you're born, and there's evidence of people who were born rich and they became poor. So it doesn't matter how you're born. You can't be born into wealth. If you do not make the right decisions as the tenure of your life progresses, then you will reap the benefits of what you or the bad things of what you actually reaped, of what you actually don't sown, the seeds that you've sown. That's why I try to explain to people that you pay to be broke, you pay to be poor. You pay to be poor. Every single time you spend money on Christmas gifts, that's not putting more money in your pocket. I know it sounds weird, but listen to what I'm saying and understand what I'm saying. Rich people don't spend money on those things. Or if they do spend money on those things, they try to make sure that they make a lot of money first, and then the income that they have coming in supersedes their expenses. Poor people are the reverse. They make sure that all of the money going out is more than the money is coming in. Whereas rich people, they make sure the money coming in is more than the money going out. That's another way to be rich. So if you pay to be rich, if you pay to be broke rather, why not pay to be rich? That's the way how the world works. We live on a financial planet. Nothing in this world is free, and people pay to be broke or they pay to be rich. So that's why I firmly believe that you should invest in yourself. Paying to be rich, people call it an investment, but I'm not going to pretty it up and make it sound fancy schmancy. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're doing. Every single time you buy something that is not putting money in your pocket, you're paying to be broke. And you have to understand that. And that's what changed my mind. That's why for the past year, I've made over $100,000 every single month strictly from my phone. And I've been doing that because I put money in my on paying to be rich. I put money in places that are assets or I buy things that will make me richer. So I spend money on assets. I don't spend money on a lot of liabilities. So I cut out all of, I don't drink, but if I was drinking, I would cut out all the drinking. I don't smoke, but if I was smoking, I would cut out all the smoking. I used to buy a lot of clothes. I stopped buying a lot of clothes and I started dressing very simple. And I only spend money on things that will bring money into my pocket. That's how you become wealthy. That's how you become rich. So you have to understand that first. Once you understand that, then you'll begin your journey onto making more money. Then you begin to journey onto becoming more profitable. Then you begin your journey onto changing your financial trauma and changing your financial future so that you will be the best version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start in order to be great. So thank you for watching this video today. I'm gonna try to put out more videos like this just to help you guys understand exactly what you have to do in order to be wealthy, just to help you understand exactly what you have to do in order to be the best version of yourself. So if you like content like this, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you follow me. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this from YouTube, make sure you subscribe because at the end of the day, like I told you guys before, you pay to be broke, so why not pay to be rich? I have links in the description that's going to explain everything. If you think that it's good for you, because I'm not the greatest teacher in the world, but I just share my experience. That's what I do. So when you purchase the link in the bio, you'll just see my experience. That's why I charge, because it's my experience, the things that I've gone through. So you could draw from that experience. I remember when in 2019 there was this young kid who just quit, who he was like some white kid, and he was an orphan, and he had just got kicked out of his parents' house, and he was trying drop shipping. Yeah, he was trying drop shipping. I followed his story. I got invested in the story, and through his story, I learned dropshipping. So people can learn a lot through stories. So that's why if you click the link in my bio and discover how I make over $100,000 every single month, you can learn from my story and you could apply it to whatever you got going on. If you're a single mom, this might be something good for you. If you're a single dad, this might be something good for you. If you just want to make more money, this is something good for you as well. And another thing too, I want to leave you with the last point. Don't wait till your back is against the wall to start doing something. A lot of people use desperation instead of faith. But I don't think you guys should use desperation to succeed. I think you should use faith. Now, me, I had a career. I didn't have just a job. I had a career, very prestigious career, where I served patients, I served doctors, and the low income communities. We did a lot of charity care, and I didn't wait till I was down and out or COVID to happen for me to say, oh, you know what, let me start trying to learn how to make money. You want to start learning how to make money when you're up, where everything is going good, where your life is good. You don't want to make money when you're down. I don't know why people try to make money when you're down and out. That's the worst time to try. I mean, at that time you're at rock bottom, so you don't really have a choice. But when you're at rock bottom, that's the worst time to try. You got to try when you have something. So that's why I want to implore you guys to try it out right now. Try to make money online right now. If you're an older person and you're retired, try to make money online. If everything is stable, you're good, God has blessed you, try to make money online. Because at the end of the day, you got to turn one talent into two, you got to turn two talents into four, you got to turn four talents into eight. And I leave you with the story of Matthew, uh, in Matthew in the Bible. If you're not familiar with the story, allow me to explain. So there was a servant and there was a slave master, and there was another servant with the same master, and another servant with the same slave master. So the slave master went away for some time. He gave one servant one talent. He gave another servant two talents, and he gave the other servant, I believe, five talents, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. So he gave the all three of them talents. He went away for some time, and when he came back, he asked the person with five talents, hey, what did you do with the talent? And he said, oh, you know what? You gave me five, but I multiply it and I turn it into five more. So now I have 10. And look, I can give you 10 now. And I have some for myself as well. And then he said, very good, very good. Then he went to the second servant, asked him, what did you do with the talent? He said, hey, listen, you gave me two and I doubled it. I bring back four. Very good, very good, very good. Then he said to the person with the one talent, hey, what's up? What did you do with your talent? He said, oh, you know what? Since you only gave me one, I buried it in the ground and I'm giving you back the same talent. And the slave master said, be gone from me, you slothful. You're not faithful, and you took all the talents that I gave you and you wasted it. He was like, yeah, but you gave them four and you gave me them two and you only gave me one. He was like, yeah, but they did it five times. They did it two times. They did it four times, five times. They did what you couldn't do with one over and over and over five times. So you could have learned from them. So don't be slothful. Don't just take your talents and just bury them in the ground. Do something with them. All right. Thank you for watching this video and you're welcome.